Alright, you guys, welcome back to another episode of Banished in our new little city of Foxhole here. Now, if you can't tell, I've gone ahead and made some changes compared to the end of last episode. We went ahead, I don't even know how to address anyone, destroyed this whole area that we used to have the small tiny shacks in and moved everyone permanently into the homes over here. I went ahead and finally built up these extra hunters and gatherers huts and herbalists, and then put in one forest lodge and then one over here as well. Then I went ahead and built some bridges here and here so that I can go ahead and start chopping down more wood and gathering more resources, because that was a bit necessary at the end of that last episode. And then I added in all these different buildings you can see that are on pause real quick. We have a smelter and then a fuel refinery, so I can start making actual iron. And then I'm going to throw in these two water towers so that we can get some extra food production within the city itself. Then over here we have, of course, a blacksmith and a blacksmith house, and then a tailor shop and a tailor's house. But these both right here require iron, which is why I put down the iron smelter and the fuel refiner, so we can get that started and actually produce real iron and buildings that need it, of course. And then to top it off, it took me a while to even be able to start recording, because if you can't tell, I've had a lot of people die recently. Quite a lot have actually died, and because of that, I had to pretty much start over. It took me, let's see what year we're in, it probably took me 10 years for the first generation to die off and their kids to finally grow up and have kids, which is where we're at now finally. But now that we have a steady population going and I have a couple of laborers I can actually spare, we can start building more. Of course, finishing up the areas that I've got started, and then adding in some houses here. For the houses, I really want to do some type of colonial house style like this, because it would kind of work with these old looking shacks a bit, especially if we upgraded these shacks to townhouses, which I plan to do later on in the series to make them a little bit more nicely upgraded. Nicely upgraded? Yeah, sure, whatever. Words work like that. I was thinking I'll go ahead and leave these guys as such, build the colonial townhouses here, and then build, what is it called? This one? No. It is, which one is it? This one. And then replacing these 6 right here with the town adobe, which is basically the upgraded version of the shacks we have built over there already, so that these guys will look a little bit classier than this over here. Or maybe I'll do that the other way, leave these as shacks and upgrade these. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll just leave them all as shacks and have these guys over here in the middle instead of doing the colonial houses. Actually, that might work out better. Yeah, I think I might just end up doing that instead. Yeah, that actually sounds good. And we'll make this whole area out of these town adobes and make them, of course, have larger yards, because they're supposed to be richer than the town shacks that we got going on. So, without further ado, like I usually do, it is time for our time lapse of this episode, so I hope you guys enjoy. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that little time lapse that we had of building up this area here. I think it looks quite cute, very quaint little towns, and each little backyard has their own little thing going on. We got some plants, we got some ponds, we got some barrels and children's stuff to play on, and a lot of barrels and a lot of wood. Then over here we got some wagons and carts and things like that, and a fire pit apparently for this guy over there. But you know, just to make it seem like they're a little bit more wealthier families compared to these guys who just have like grass in their side yard and they can't afford to upgrade their house in comparison. And then I also added on the side right here 4 extra houses because I had a little bit of space I wanted to do, and these guys of course have no yard or nothing special about them really. And then I'm debating on whether or not I should get rid of this cemetery and just have this one and then expand some houses over here. If I do, I might do that because I need more room for houses in this area, but we'll see how that goes as we move through different episodes in this series. And then of course we went ahead and we built up our smelter and our fuel refinery, as well as these water towers. And these water towers actually give us pretty decent, only 400 water a season, and that's only one person working it, so it's really not that bad, and we can have them blend in with the actual town, so we don't have to keep them super far away. And we still have quite a bit of iron left after building up our workshop and tailor shop and blacksmith, that's what they're called. And of course we got their little houses on top, even though that's not actually where they live, but hey, extra housing is never a bad thing. And then I wanted to go ahead and kinda is a new word. No, kinda clean up the edges of this because I didn't want to have to build out fishing docks here, because whenever a trade ship comes through, it just glitches through the fishing docks and it looks kind of weird. So instead I went ahead and I put down these hunting blinds around the edges here so that they can go ahead and pick up some extra fish. Apparently, I thought they were supposed to pick up just duck. Oh well. And feathers and things like that, just so that we can have extra food coming in. They don't do too much, which is unfortunate, except for that guy. That guy got 400, dang. But we can have them there and just have extra food as well as more jobs in this area. But I do have a church member here, and let's see how our school is doing. We're gonna have to get a new school in the next episode. Yeah, because we're gonna look at those kids. They're gonna grow up and go to school soon, so we're gonna need to start building more services like that for the town. And then I went ahead and, as you can see, I did the outskirt along the river with some trees. These are the only trees I could find in this, where is it? In here? That didn't require saplings. All of these require saplings to build, except for this guy right here. You click on it, and it just requires 4 pieces of wood, which is perfect because I don't have any saplings, said it right that time, to do anything of the sort. And then so I just decorated the whole edge of the waterfront with these trees to make it look like it's actually like a town carved into the forest, and not that we just destroyed everything in our pathway. And I think it just makes it a little bit more homey too, just having a little forest and then your river right after it. And just this whole part of town, I know it's being like the old town, but it looks quite cute, very quaint, definitely old compared to what we're going to build in other parts of this town, but I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. And then, like I said earlier, we built these guys up, and the foresters have been doing great at growing back everything when I have them actually, when I actually have people in there. Because right now, I built these guys. I want this little sliver of land here that goes from here all the way to here to have pretty much a bunch of dense foresters like these guys here. And so we can just plant them up, and then whenever I need wood, which will be fairly soon, I can just come through here and chop down one whole section with my laborers, and then the guys who actually work here can focus on just planting as their main job, so they don't cut down trees randomly. And then so once this gets filled with trees, we'll have plenty of trees and wood to keep us going for a while. And we need to do the same thing for stone and iron soon. Well, mostly iron. Not really stone so much, because we seem to have a lot of it. And we still need to go through and clear out some of the stone and iron that's within the perimeter of these foresters up here, because otherwise you can't really have a healthy... Well, you won't have as dense of a forest if you have all these stone and iron everywhere. But so for the next episode, the plan is to actually go ahead and start building our, I was about to say farms, our fishing areas, because fishing on these main lakes are amazing. It's like the best thing ever. And of course, I'm going to go through and do my little dock community shanty areas, these guys, and have it just be like kind of around the edges and everything. I think I'll do either here, or we can cross the bridge and head to this guy. But it'd probably just be easier if I stick to this one because it's closer to the area that we're working from and closer to our stockpiles. So we'll start expanding down to here. There won't be any walls going around it because, like I said, it's a shanty type of area, like the dock area. And of course, we'll put in some trade boats and things like that and just have it kind of go around all of this eventually. But to start with, this first top part will be the best to get some fish production going and to get some trading going so we can finally get seeds and things like that. But aside from that, you guys, I think this episode is good. It might be a little bit shorter than normal episodes, but I had to do quite a lot of stuff like off camera, like waiting for populations to grow, so it actually took quite a bit of time on my part to record it all, which is why it's a bit shorter. But I hope you guys still enjoyed. Of course, make sure you leave a like down below if you did, subscribe if you're new, and leave a comment of anything you'd like to comment about down below as well. And as always, I'll see you guys all in the next episode. Bye guys!